Okay, this is a hopefully short video about how to get a max level weapon as quickly as possible, or at least the quickest way I know how. So we'll start a new game, and we'll go with Vagabond. We'll choose, doesn't really matter. Where is the, there we go. That's our name. And we'll choose a golden seed. I mean, I'll use this as sort of a basic sort of starter guide as well. I'll try and not go too overboard with any other extraneous detail, but if you're just looking to upgrade a weapon fast, then this is probably the quickest way. We'll skip all this. Great. Just going to get rid of that and that. There we go. Hopefully that worked. And the grafted sign was there, so fingers crossed it worked. Yes, it did. Good. I'll talk about where we're going soon, but basically we're just going to be getting Torrent, the two halves of the Dectus Medallion, and then I'll sort of explain what we're doing from there. Now, with the key to this, I suppose, is getting a somber weapon, a somber smithing stone upgradable weapon early. I'm going to choose the Bloodhound's Fang because it is accessible really, really early. And it can also assist with a boss fight that you will need to complete to do this as I've described it. So you don't need to worry about Vare at the moment. We may as well just talk to him real quick.
Of course, you unfortunate without you are fit.
Yep.
Lakani, are you familiar? You may also that it will leave even if. Great.
Also, a lot of the videos I've watched just don't keep the full sort of process in, so it can be deceptive as to how long it takes. So I'm anticipating that this will only take something like an hour. It might be less, especially if you've got a helpful friend to drop you some weapons and runes and stuff. I will be leveling up with this character just because it's not a rune level one run, I should say, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to do this. We are going to use this so we can get a crafting kit. And that's all we're going to do. And now we're going to get Torrent. And as we all know, Torrent is this way. Meet Melina.
Have you heard of the Finger Maidens? They
No.
serve, but I can play turning root to aid you. You need her to the foot. Then it summon me. I bequeath.
Lovely.
It will summon Torrent. Treat him with.
Great. And just a tip in general for when you are, I mean, just came up with the tooltip there, but no one ever reads that. So when you're in your start menu, go over here to the right to your pouch, hit triangle to switch, put torrent there, so that way when you hold triangle, torrent is always right there. So I'm just trying to think where we need to go. So we may as well get the two halves of the medallion, and actually I should really get the map as well. So I'm probably going to get into a bit of trouble here. Now you don't need to get these graces and stuff. I'm sort of undecided as to whether I'm actually going to use this character or not. So do what you think is right. If something in this run does not apply to you, then just ignore it. So we're not going to fight this guy, although it is fun. Okay, well I'm going to try and not fight him. The most important sort of setup that we're doing is to start Blide and therefore Rani's quest. You can look those up on the Texture Life wiki or wherever you like. But the reason we're doing that is because it allows us to get a high level summon in a fight that can give us the reward for which is a really good weapon called the Bloodhound's Fang. Now you shouldn't be worried too much about using it depending on, you know, if you're doing a melee build or anything like that, because you can always respec, and Vagabond's easily the best class for that. So we're going to go firstly to Fort Height, which is to the south down here. I've got to be careful not to get creamed by some bears. And we're basically looking for the ruins, but we're not going to go into any of them. Okay, so we've got a map behind us, so I've got to go grab that actually. There we go. It will make sense later. So we heard the howling. I might just wait for it to howl again. There we go, we definitely heard it. And the reason that that's important is we can ask Merchant Kale, who we just bought the crafting kit off before, about the howling, and that way we get introduced to Blide, but we're not there yet. So we will get there, but not right now. Just so you can see where I'm going in the map. Actually, it won't let me because it thinks I'm still in combat. So we've been, you know, we started here, came down here, Mistwood outskirts, heard Blide, and now we're going to Fort Height here. Now there's a Grace and a Golden Seed. Strongly recommend grabbing those as well. Obviously, yeah, like I said before, none of this stuff is required, but it is required for this method, just to make things a bit simpler. So, actually, we should really get that siege, shouldn't we? Hang on. There we go. Okay, get that out of the way. First have to deck this medallion up here. And then we'll go effectively straight to the first, not the first step, Church of Ella. Because we've done the howling thing. And we should be good to progress on with the run. So just bear with me, won't be a sec.
This way, tarnished.
Oh great, Ronnie's here.
I am the witch. I'd heard and upon look at talk thou art to call forth. Ah, I was in stride torrents.
Great, always good to tell the truth.
The spirits now it is that.
Okay,
Forgive my doubt wish. How long will before the time?
see you, Ronnie. Love the fog. I don't think that appears any other time. Anyway, howling in Mistwood.
Next time you don't fret, I just haven't.
Great. So now, after we've told him about the howling in Mistwood, what we need to do is just equip the gesture. So it can just replace the wave, and the gesture we're looking for is finger snap. So just equip that, just so it's available to you. And then we're going to just put a marker right where Blyde is, and we're going to ride up from Fort Haight West. Now it's this side here, I'm fairly sure. Actually no, there he is, you can see him in the background there, so you can see Blyde if you go around the right side. I usually just stand right here because this is where he jumps down, do the finger snap gesture, and then Blyde will be here to talk to us.
Who goes there? Carly sent you, did he?
A 15-foot tall dog, very nice.
Who goes? Carly sent you.
Okay, great. That's all the dialogue he has there. So, basically we're going to this Evergaol here to fight Darwill, who we just spoke about. So the closest grace we have to there right now is Agil Lake North. There'll be another one that we can do as well. Sorry, just having a sip of my beer, which I'm having right now. Also, there's no music for this playthrough. You can put on whatever you like to relax. I mean, for me personally, it's like a couple of movies, a podcast, some Steely Dan, and an audiobook all at the same time. That's how I relax. So just feel free to do any of those things. How good. Okay. Obviously, just don't go in the lake to fight the dragon. You don't need to do that, so don't worry about it. And that's a quest over there that I'm not doing. Oh, that hurt. Ideally, don't get hit by him, obviously. We're going to leave this caravan alone because we're weak as piss. We are going to get a grace over here just in case we die. It happens. So just to recap where we are. So we started here, Stranded Graveyard, first step, Merchant Carle. We picked up Torrent from Gatefront. we went across here, saw Blyde, got the Dectus medallion, then we went back to the Church of Ella, asked about Blyde, gave the did the gesture, and now we're back here, about to summon him for this fight at this Evergaol just up ahead. So, just so you're across the context. Now, you don't need to summon him outside the Evergaol. He'll appear inside the Evergaol. Just make sure you do that before you fight the guy. Obviously, the objective here is to stay out of the way as much as possible, and let Blyde, who's 15 feet tall and a dog, do the work. So, we'll just wait for him to arrive.
Darrowell. Rotting in a cell is no true justice.
Now, when we approach him there,
This is where it ends for you.
now let these guys go at each other. Fingers crossed. You can chip in some damage to help stagger him, but don't get too greedy. I'll take that. Easy. And now, this is what the run's all about. So Bloodhound's Fang, it's a dex scaling weapon, and then we can continue on from here. So just forgive me for 1 sec, I've just got to deal with something in IRL, and I'll be right back. Hang on. Alright, now we're going to talk to Blyde, just to get his quest up and running, and he'll give us an upgrade, which is nice.
Tell him I said he'll be sure I owe you one.
So he's talking about a blacksmith, which we're going to see in a second. Now let's take a look at the Bloodhound's Fang. Now the first thing, if you paying attention, that you'll probably notice is that we don't have the stats for it. Now we are going to be doing some leveling up soon, but not right now, because there's an easier way while we're at this lower level. It requires going to the Belly of the Beast into Caelid, but we will be doing that just because it is absolutely worth it. So we're going to go from the Mistwood outskirts, and we're going to retrieve not only the second half of the Dectus medallion, but also a Saw Seal that allows your stats to be boosted. So I might just quickly level up before then, because it's almost certain that we're going to die at some point here. Okay, and I'd strongly recommend, until you reach like level, 60 or 80, just put everything into Vigor. That would be, unless you're doing an invasion build, but there's plenty of guides about that. So Third Church of Marika is where we're going. You can pick up your Flask of Wondrous Physic here, which is a very useful item in PvE and PvP. Absolutely essential, I would say, if you're doing invasions, and great for boss fights as well. Taking the lovely sights, we'll be going all over there, maybe, depending on how long this takes. I'm going to grab the Sacred Tear, level up our flasks a bit. Grab the Flask of Wondrous Physic. We're not going to mess with that too much right now. I'm going to grab this Grace, and now I'm going to face north at the statue here, just so you can see where we're going. So around the side of this church in this lake is a little teleporter. It's about here. I think. We'll find out how accurate I am in a second. But what it's going to do is take us all the way up here. And then we're going to go through and pick up a few things for our run. And then we're going to continue on there. So big things are the Dectus Medallion second half and the... Oh, it was pretty close, but not quite. And the Saw Seal, so that we can wield the Bloodhound's Fang. So we're going to go through the teleporter. Don't fight anything here. There's no need, at least right now. There's a grace behind this door, so grab that. And this method doesn't break any quests or anything like that, especially if you follow my instructions specifically when we go to Leonia. There's just a couple of things that'll get us to a place called Volcano Manor, where it's really important that we go there. And there's also a handy sort of side quest for Blackguard, who is a great merchant for some really useful items, especially for fighting bosses and PvP and all that stuff. So now it's a very scary area, Caelid, but don't stress too much because we are really just sort of going on like a tour bus. We're just going right through. We're not really doing a great deal of actual activities. So I'm going to run across and get this thing. Now just try and stay out of its way. Tail sweep and all that sort of stuff is what you want to watch out for. Don't do what I'm doing. So we're heading down south to this Erd tree here, the minor Erd tree. Got a very, very useful tier for your physic, but we are not anywhere near powerful enough to fight it right now. So we're not going to. Now there is a giant dragon up here that's passive, so you can kill it. I'm not going to waste time doing that. I'll just show you where it is. Not that it's, you know, hard to miss or anything like that. So that's the dragon there. Get yourself a bleed weapon. We might come back after we've got Bloodhound's Fang sort of ready to go and kill it, but you can just wail on its tail and get like 75,000 souls or something like that, which is pretty good, but I don't think we'll need it this run. So now we're at Fort Faroth. I'll just show you the grace right here. That's Fort Faroth. That's the Erd tree where we were before. The fort is like just right behind here. So we're really just speedrunning this area. We're not spending a lot of time. We've only got a few hundred souls, so if we die, it's not a big deal. Just stay calm, get past the vampire bats, and you should be okay. Try not to get poisoned, obviously. Might be a bit difficult at this level, but if you are quick enough, then it shouldn't be an issue. So, Dectus Medallion, part 2. Lovely. Now we're going to go down here. And there's a hole sort of towards the back. Just watch out for some blue soldiers there. They appear around the place. So basically we're going to go in here. And now we're going to go along this corridor here. There are some rats and stuff, but just ignore them. And then you're going to jump across here. And there's going to be some bigger rats and all that sort of thing. We're going to drop down here. Grab this talisman here. And let's see if we can get ourselves out. I don't think we can, but maybe we can. If we can do it without dying, I'll be very happy with myself, so. Okay, so basically we just need to go down and then back to where we were before. Good luck to me. I might have actually done it though, so that's awesome. Now, we can get back on the horse. And just for the sake of getting some... actually, no, we're not going to do that, sorry. I got sidetracked. What we're going to do now is get basically the end part of the tree, the upgrade tree of our somber weapon. I'm just equipping that Saw Seal now because we picked it up. We can use it, and we're going to get rid of that and equip that. So now we've got a Bloodhound's Fang, +0. I've just been tracking across Grail here, but this is a Divine Tower of Caelid. That's the main sort of landmark that you want to keep in mind. So we're going down the bottom here because there's, I think, the Somber Smithing Stone 9, which is going to come in use a bit later on. There it is. Let's grab the other stuff as well, why not? Okay. And now for the +8. We're doing it in a little bit reverse order here. For +8, it's just up and around the corner. And you can see in the distance there, right in the center of the screen, is a little scarab. So what we're going to do is kill that scarab. It's going to blow up. We're not going to get hurt, but that's where it's going to go. That's what's going to happen, I should say. And it's probably going to take a while because we are not very powerful. So as long as it doesn't disappear, we'll be okay. And also it doesn't think we're in combat at the moment, so we're not losing any stamina, which is interesting. There we go. Roll away. Somber Smithing Stone 8. We'll grab the map, and then we will piece out from here and get started on the rest of the run. Okay. Now, we are going to Gatefront. And we're going to go all the way up . Grab the stone sword key here. It might be, in fact it will be useful for where we're going. You just need 2 stone sword keys in total. We should definitely have enough by the time we get there to Volcano Manor.
Everyone, only to have, did you know? It's quite a...
Let's talk to this NPC.
You're heading to entice, well, that, but I don't have... It's scam. I want on nothing but a crave. Oh, can you take... off and it'll be glad...
Okay.
Tell them I'm finally getting...
Okay, that's all we really need to do there. Now, what we're doing at this juncture is we are going to go into Leonia, so we are going to sort of sequence break a little bit. Now, it's important to realise that it doesn't actually matter about that at all. It doesn't, like with any major sort of side quest or minor side quest, it doesn't really make any difference whatsoever. The reason I'm killing these guys is just to get a few souls, because we will need some. Now, you can follow where I'm going here, so that's the path to Margit. Actually, that's a pretty decent Ash of War, I think, so I might just grab it. Wild Strikes, it's not bad. We're going up here. If I can get on my horse. There we go. And what we're kind of doing is circumventing Stormvale Castle and Margit and that whole thing. And it's not important that we're doing that because your progression into the capital, where things start happening with quests, is gated by you sort of defeating I think it's three 3 shard bearers, or is it 2? It might be 2 shard bearers. So, but those for us are going to be Godric and Brunella. So that's what we're going to be doing. If we need to go that far. I don't think we will need to actually go that far. I dare say we can probably get most of the way there without actually fighting a boss. Although we might for some souls just to level up our health, like I spoke about before. So this is the path here. It's very easy to follow. You basically just veer off right before the lead up to where Margit is. Follow this around. It's the only path that's up here. And then you will come out overlooking the beautiful Leonia of the Lakes. And I've tested this with Hyda's quest. I've tested it with all sorts of quests, and nothing breaks. So it's okay, and it's perfectly intended that you would possibly come this way if you didn't want to go the other way. Now there is a sacred tear in that little church there. I mean, I'm going to grab it just because when we come up to a boss fight in the near future, we're going to need all the help we can get. We're not going to talk to him right now. But we're going to go down. Actually, there's a cookbook there. It's probably useful to get, I think. If you're a mage, it's a good scroll to get. And hopefully don't die. Yep, nice. Okay, so here's Leonia. Very sick. Now we're not really going to be stopping and messing around that much. But you can take your time. Now I might sell some stuff just because I don't need it.
You're unsurprised, no matter. No, I don't. Oh, don't.
So we're going to sell. We don't need... Oh, no. Why don't we... Actually, no, we can use that for our thing. Maybe we don't need to sell anything. Yeah, maybe we don't need to sell anything right now. That's fine. Okay. It's just good to get that grace, though, and find where the merchants are. It's always good to have that sort of stuff mapped out. Now we'll grab the map here. Let's ignore those guys. Now we're going to find Raya the Scout. She's part of the Volcano Manor questline. The best way to find where she is just look for the telescope. So follow along the main path. You can sort of see, actually if you could see the map you'd see we're going along the main path. So if you sort of just keep following along here, on our left, in, I don't know, what looks like a couple hundred meters, you can probably see the telescope. That's it right there in the center of the screen now. And immediately to the right is Raya the Scout, who we're going to have a chat to now.
Hello, it's rather my mistress. I was a could I ask that thug only if you've... Oh, what a blessing. The thug, please.
And we're going to help her.
The thug, please.
Okay. Now the thug that she's talking about is west of here. So I think the Boil Prawn Shack is about here. You can probably actually see it once we go in a little bit further. I'm probably wrong about Boil Prawn Shack. Oh no, I was reasonably close. So there's Boil Prawn Shack there. So she wants her medallion back, or whatever it is. I've never really paid much attention because it's just an easy way to get taken to a later area in the game. Now this guy's great. He sells crabs here, but later on he sells... Oh sorry, he sells prawns here, sells crabs later. The boiled crabs are epic. They are great for damage negation. I strongly recommend it. I'm going to use this that we've picked up. You can obviously get more runes by the time you get here. I'm going to ask for the necklace.
In love with you're first.
It's 1,000 runes. So that's great, we've done that. And just so we can,
All right, things know you're bloody.
if you want to,
All right then, I could be.
we can grab a prawn. May as well just grab one.
Oh, all right, well, but it ain't mine anyway. Look, it's
We're going to talk to him because his quest is
takes no bloody cruel bloody joke.
sort of ties into a late game sort of side quest, which is definitely worth doing.
Never met someone with it. We'd make good, mate. I'll be seeing you.
Alright, great emote as well. See if we can level up with those runes that I've got left over. Oh no, she's going to take me to
Forgive
Round
me
Table
to
Hold.
determine if you had- It seems Torrent
That's okay.
was
We're going to go,
ideas,
not speak to anyone, but come back.
gathering very let my hand.
Ideally you just sort of ride. I don't know why I was trying to level up obviously, but don't do what I did there. Great. So we don't need to talk to anyone there. So we'll just go and see Raya the Scout from here. That quest will be done. Then we can get on with the rest of the run. Basically, the reason why this is important is because once we go up the Dectus lift to Altus Plateau, Raya will be able to meet us there, and then she will take us to Volcano Manor, which is where we get one of the rarest smithing stones in the game, the Somber Smithing Stone +7. I think there are only 3 in the whole world of Elden Ring that you can get organically. So it's good that you can get one kind of early, but obviously we do have to fight a boss to get it, but I'll talk about that more in a sec.
Oh yeah, thank you. Did I forget? I see you are very to steady such. Please,
Great.
brave Tarmos.
So she's telling us that to meet her at the Grand Lift of Dectus, and she'll look after us. Just make sure. Yeah. So there's 2 ways. We're going to go the more direct way. Now, really quickly, we might just grab this, and then we are going to head essentially over past where the map is loading in there. I believe that it's like up. It's up here or something like that. I think is where EG is, the blacksmith. So we'll get the map piece first. I've got too many markers on. Actually, we'll get this map piece and then we'll come back to that. So. Get the grace here, why not? We might come back, I don't know. Actually, I'm not going to spoil where the key is for the academy, we don't need it, so, I mean, I know where it is. Anyway, so from this grace, we're going to go west. And we're going to go basically directly west. And then we'll be pretty close to where we really need to go. So that's Raya Lucaria Academy right there. A couple of graces along here that are pretty picturesque if you want to grab them. I believe we're coming out to one right now. This one's pretty nice. On a clear day, that is. We are going to just quickly visit the Rose Church because that will become that will be important later. So we're just going to go in, ride straight back out because we are not equipped to fight that thing. There's an Ash of War there, can't remember what it is. Might be good, might be trash, don't know. I believe we're near Temple Quarter, or that's Temple Quarter right there. Minor Erdtree, there's a couple of graces around here, but we're not really interested in that for the purposes of this run. My advice, if you've never done sort of like a quick run like this, or sort of made multiple characters, just take your time, enjoy it. It's more important that you get the upgrade materials than level up. That's something that a lot of people get wrong. It's just the way that the weapon upgrade system works. We're just going to grab this Grace just because I've remembered it, so you definitely don't need to. And you can see we're about halfway up the western shore of Leonia, and we're going to keep going north until we get to the blacksmith that I've been talking all about. So the blacksmith, his name's Iji. He is part of a really big sort of side quest that is tied to Blyde, who we also met before, and Rani, who we also met before. And he has upgrade materials. So I don't know if we're going to have the souls to really do much at the moment, but we might be able to get this to +1 or +2, which will be very helpful to us. And then the souls will sort of come slightly more easily to us after that. Now I feel like I've missed a... oh no, that's all good. The map piece is coming up. That's the 4 belfries up there, that's what the location's called. It is pretty picturesque up there, actually. Just going to grab that. Might need it for the dragon later. There's nothing in this camp that's really worth getting. You can get this on your horse if you really want to. Not much point. Ignore the caravan for now. Can always come back and do it later. It's worth noting that Leonia is basically completely unchanged by later game events, so whatever you decide to ultimately do for your ending, this will all basically remain the same. Everything will be accessible. It's not the same case for other areas in the game though. Grab this Grace. So we've already got a Somber Smithing Stone +2 that Blyde gave us. So we've got to keep that in mind. And do we have any other runes or anything? We might have to sell a couple of weapons that we're not going to use. The trick here is to just attack this wall. Get the Grace.
Well,
This is Iji.
I presume you... Oh, I am an old, so here perhaps you...
So they're quite expensive, aren't they? So we can't really do much
If you come to
right this second. But this is where he is, so as soon as we get some souls, that's what we're going to do.
When the Rhea look after Levkarian, I conject his wine unless you... Quite a rare perhaps, at any rate. I've some...
So, what we might do now is go kill the dragon for some souls and for some level ups. So we need, you know, roughly 8 or 10,000 left over to level up our weapon to +4 here, and then we can think about going to Volcano Manor and setting up some stuff for getting the +10 later on. So we'll go and do that now. Now it is tedious, but I think it's worth just seeing it, seeing how long it takes, especially with you know, a base level weapon and all that sort of stuff. It's just just increasing the flasks there. Okay, so now we're going back to the dragon, which is here. What we're going to do as well, we just picked up, as you may have noticed, some blood grease, and I'm going to apply it to this weapon because it naturally has blood build up on it. So prepare yourselves. This is going to take a while. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 2. But you can see the big chunks coming out of the dragon. That's because of the blood grease, so we'll try and use that as much as we can. Regen the stamina. And basically as soon as the dragon bleeds, then it resets. So the bleed build-up resets. And blood grease lasts for a good while. I think it's like maybe 45 seconds, maybe a minute, so this won't take as long as I thought. There we go. Still going. So just keep chunking it away. And as soon as the red bit on the weapon's gone, we're going to add some more. There we go. Now we're over halfway, and it doesn't take long, so. This is just to make a boss fight that we have to do later much easier. I've done it on rune level 1. It is very, very hard, so don't put yourself through that, especially if you're not wanting to suffer. Alright. Almost there. My cat is chiming in. Hey Max. How you going? Almost there. We're very close now. Yes, I know Max. Just be a good boy. As much as you can. Okay, we might save that last blood grease for a fight later. Okay. Yes, Max, I know. So I'm going to try and ignore him now. And we're almost done with the dragon, but this is how long it takes. Not trying to sugarcoat it. It takes a while. You just got to stick with it. And we're almost done. See there? So good. Now remember, we want about 10,000-ish, maybe more than that, runes left over after we level up a bit. Just so we can actually upgrade this weapon as well. Great. Do I have what I... No, I don't have it. That's right. So the dragon's going to die. We're going to get a lot of souls. All the other dragons are going to die as well. So we got heaps. Yes, Max. So now, why don't we go do the weapon first, and then we will do everything else. Yes, Baba. So the aim here is to get this weapon to +4. So we've got one of those. So we need to buy one of those. We need to buy one of these and one of these. Now, and we'll get him to strengthen them as well. Sorry, I got ahead of myself there. We'll just get it 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's done. And now we have 58,000 odd runes to put into our Vigor basically exclusively at this point. Yes, Baxi. So that is good. That's almost triple the amount of HP we had before. So, and you'll notice it on our health bar. So now we can take a few more hits, which is really good. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of setup for doing Vare's quest, the White Mask guy that you meet at the start of the game. He'll give us a quest after we beat a couple of bosses. So what we're going to do is we're going to essentially go down here into this ravine, go all the way up here to the Bellum Church. Actually, we can probably go there a shorter way. We can go this way. And then we're going to hit this grace here, and then we're going to go up this lift, which is definitely going to help us. But before we do that, I should say we're going to jump into this this village here, defeat an NPC, and go from there. So let's get to it. Can't jump down there just yet. I can probably make that though. There we go. Still got 1,700 left over. How good. Ignore the dogs. They're not very fast, so... I'll pull the map up at the precise point that I'm sort of turning up to go up onto this plateau here. Yes, Maxi. Big yawn. You can get this grace here. You don't need to, but it's just nice. Hey, excuse you. So this bit here, I can't show it on the map right this second because I'm getting attacked, but it's basically your first sort of right that you can see being accessible after you go down this this ravine here. And essentially where we're coming out is a level below where the Altus Plateau is. Again, the reason we need to go to Altus Plateau is to go to Volcano Manor, and also we need to go the long way around and defeat an invader there as well. We might just quickly check with this bloke, see if he has anything good. Not really? Cool. Alright. Now in this church there's a sacred tear. We'll definitely grab that. Back towards the south is the academy, but we're not going there right now, so we don't need to worry. We'll just grab this tier, and then we'll head up to, or head to the lift first, and then from there we'll go to this, the Frenzied Flame sort of village. Oh no, it's the, oh god, the name will come to me, but the church that we're going to. So it's just important that we set this up now. Probably won't make a lot of sense on the face of it, but it will very soon, I'm sure. But things are definitely moving along now. It's just about how quickly we're able to get through Volcano Manor. So I think I've got about 5 minutes left for this video, and then I'll have to stop and make another one. So part 1 is ending very soon, so I think we'll probably just end it after getting to this lift right here, and then I'll just start a new recording straight after that. All right, so we'll just stop the video here. So just for reference where we are at the, this is the Bellum Highway here. We're just starting at the Grand Lift Adeptus. We're going up here through this way. after we come back. So thanks for watching so far. See you in the next part.